Good evening from Sweden. So today is the last day of January 2026. So I was thinking that we should do a reading of the energies for February. So to get an overall feeling of what's going on with the energies in the universe as we are moving into February. So, and as always, take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So our question now will be, what is the overall and energetic theme of February? And energies do change, and they can change very, very, very swiftly. So this is just sort of to get a feeling of what might be coming and the overall theme of this month. I will continue with our morning reflections as well, so where we get something that are more spotlighted for that day. So let's start by grounding ourselves, sitting down, rooting into the earth or to the surface below on our chair, or if you're sitting on the floor, or if you're out walking maybe. Making sure that your feet are firmly planted on the surface below. Feel like there are roots growing from the soles of your feet into the Mother Earth, connecting you to earth below, and then breathe out and emptying your lungs completely. Getting rid of stagnant energy and stagnant air, and then breathe in through your nose. And then breathe out through the nose. And as you breathe in, the stomach expands all the way around. The sides and the back and the front. And as you breathe out, it contracts. And then as you breathe in, your spine rises towards the sky. And as you breathe out, you relax, but your spine remains rising towards the sky. Your crown point to the sky, connecting to the universe above. And as you breathe in, your stomach expands, and as you breathe out, it contracts. And just a few fingers below the navel and a few fingers in, there is an energy center, and this is the exact center of your body. And this place is called the dantian, or the lower dantian. And this is like a little energy bowl, really, or like a cauldron. And it's got the color of the universal light, the ultraviolet light. As you breathe in, it expands, and as you breathe out, it contracts. And as you breathe in, you're pulling the energy from Mother Earth up through the soles of your feet into the dantian. And as you breathe in, you pull the energy from the universe through your crown point all the way down into the lower dantian. The energies are meeting at this central point, energy point within you. And as you breathe in, it expands. And as you breathe out, it contracts into a little pink pearl. So this is helping us to ground ourselves and also to center ourselves before we tap into the energies for February. And please remember this sort of overall very general energy for February. Things will change throughout February as well. Okay, so what will the energies be like in February? What are we to expect? And how can we move through this as smoothly and as joyfully as possible, please? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. We got heaven. Starting with heaven, below. That's Kian. And heaven is all young light. So and then, so let's get the outer gua. What are the energies like, and what will the energies be like throughout February? What is the overall theme of February? And how can we navigate it best to ensure a smooth and joyful journey as possible? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. We got heaven again, Kian. Okay, Kian. So we have got initiating. It's the beginning of a cycle. We are beginning, setting the seed for really, we are now moving into something very new. We are now beginning the next cycle of our life. We're leaving what's all behind and moving in, definitely into what is new. And let's have a look. How is this changing, and where are we exactly in this hexagram? So what is the strongest energy, and what are we shifting into? What is shifting into? So we have the first 9, second 9, third 9, fourth 9, fifth 9. So got the is changing into yin. So we've got fire over heaven. So we've got Li and Kian. And the approached, it's all young, so we stay in that. So it's very, very, very heavenly, very initiating, very strong, young, creative, strong energies for February. But this is, we are now shifting in for sure into the next cycle. So today's reading was about stepping into our soul's journey, or the duty we have to the universe and all beings within it. So follow what our souls are calling out for. Okay, so let's have a look at Kian. Let's first actually see what fire over, like it's 14 fire over. So we have Kian 1, Kian, we're moving into 14, and then underlying is Kian. So very, 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 very heavenly, very strong energies. Let's have a look. So 14, great harvest. Okay, so let's meet Kian. So Qian, initiating. It's the first hexagram in the I Ching. It's the absolute beginning of life. It's the beginning of everything. So this speaks very much of that we are stepping into this new cycle in our life. And Qian is all yang. So it's like the ultimate yang energy. It's the ultimate creation. It's the ultimate inexhaustible source of everything. Okay, so it's the sun. We see the sun here is shining above the earth, and here we have the root of a plant growing deep, deep, deep into the ground. It's also rising above. It's actually the seed is growing. So we set the seed for a new beginning. And here we can see the chi, all the energy is being dispersed above, over the sky, above all living beings, everything that exists on this planet. And I think Qian can be compared to the Big Bang, right? It's the beginning. You need the initial spark of anything. So it's the spark and it's the energy flow that comes in that you need to initiate something. Even with a car, you need the spark. Like everything needs to be started with the energy, and you need this burst of energy. And this is Qian. It's this burst of energy, this endless, inexhaustible energy source. And it's the beginning of something new. And this is the point when we are moving into our soul's purpose. And this is what the I Ching reading this morning was speaking about. We are stepping into our soul's purpose. We are moving into the duty that we have towards this universe, the reason why we are here, what we are aligned to, right? So up until this point, many of us, or if not all of us, have been, who are listening to this reading, of course, have been living it not entirely aligned with our soul, our heart, what our heart wants. I've certainly been feeling it over the last few years. It's been very, very abundantly clear to me that I've been in the wrong spot. And I've tried a few times over the last sort of, I don't know, probably 10 years or so, or maybe 5 years, let's say 5 years. I've been trying to start something new, and I've not been able to do it. It's because I've not been entirely aligned. I've known somewhere what I want to do, right? But I've not been ready to do it because I've been carrying too many of my old patterns and like not believing in myself. And this is, I'm sure, true for you as well. That all these patterns that we learned throughout our life and how we behave and what we believe in ourselves and what we believe in about others and all things and how we see the reality. And that's holding us back. Fear and doubt and all these kind of things, right? So have been holding us back. And when we have all these walls up, with our belief structures before we can tear them down, well, then it's difficult to listen to our soul because we are listening to the fear, we are listening to for doubts instead, or like things we heard people say to us, or you're not very good at this, or blah, all these that we sort of learned from childhood. And then also situations we've been going through, different traumatic situations, which still sits deep in our fascia and in our bodies and in our soul and our heart, has been holding us back. But we have been doing some great big clearing over the last few years. And in particular, this last sort of 6 months, or particularly 4 or 5 months, I think, it's been like a really big clearing, and it has been ramping up very much throughout December and January, which has been quite a tough time. A lot of cutting away. We've been reminded constantly through the I Ching, or the universe has been reminding us to leave whatever is behind. And it's been feeling like the universe has been pushing on. So the tough times has been here to take us out of the situations that we are in, because it's so easy to become complacent and lazy because we know what we got. although we might not be very happy in that, but it sort of gives us a roof over our head and food for the day. But our soul is just crying out for something else. And that's what's been going on lately. And this throughout January has been a big cutting away. It's been forcing us to take steps that is taking ourselves out of our old situation. And here we're coming now with Qian, coming into February. We are definitely, the seed has been set, and the energy burst to start the life here is being, the spark has come for that. So we are now moving into our soul's purpose. Does this mean that it's all going to be fine again? We're going to create lots of great things? Yes. But not all the times. Obviously, life goes in cycles and it goes up and down as well. So we will have probably things coming in from the past again, our past behaviors coming to knock on the door sometimes when we are falling back into old patterns. And also starting something new, it takes a little time, right? But this is speaking about very much, as of February, we are moving in to the next cycle of our life, okay? And we're doing that with the sun shining down on us. We got water. There's a cloud spreading out above us with the rain ready to rain down onto the seed that we planted, so we can start growing our soul's purpose. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so everything is a cycle, right? Everything is cycle. So we've got spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring, summer, autumn, winter. This is how it goes, the cycle of the seasons. And then we start by sprouting something. We're growing, we're blooming, and then bearing fruit. And these are, so if we look at the decision of this hexagram, which is initiating. First, actually look at the sequence of the Gua. After heaven and earth have come into existence, myriad beings are produced. Qian and Kun are the origin, the source of creation. So Qian is the first one, Kun is the second one, so that is earth. And earth is the nourishment, it's the mother, okay? So the seed is being planted into the mother, and then it's being given life, and then it start growing within the mother, and then outside of the mother, and then growing into this great beautiful being or project or whatever it is, right, that we are creating now. Anyway, decision, sublime, and initiative, and that's yuan. It's the origin, okay? Prosperous and smooth, heng, sacrifice. This is where we make a sacrifice. First, we're being born, or the idea is being born, and then we sacrifice, and we can sacrifice in many ways. We can sacrifice in material things, but I think here for us more is sacrificing. Our sacrifice is our heart, is our compassion, is our creative source, is the gift that we got for the universe to help all beings on this. In this universe, right? And it's our truth, is our honesty, is our harmony, is our humbleness, is all these good qualities that we have been cultivating throughout the more difficult time and throughout our life. So this is our sacrifice. And then when we do that, we can harvest, because when we've been sacrificing, the harvest comes. And the harvest comes in greater knowledge. And also the harvest is seeing our baby growing up, or whatever, whether it's a baby, or if it's our idea, or is it maybe we're starting a charity, or maybe you're starting your job. Maybe you are becoming this nurse that you always wanted to become. You know, we all got different ways that we have different gifts, right? That that we need to share with this universe, and we're all different. So someone will become a nurse and look after sick and make sure they're fine, and someone will become like a wood carver and create beautiful items, or a painter or something to share with the world. And someone will start a charity to help poor or animals in trouble or the planet or something. And we're all different, right? And some will share their knowledge, and we all will share our knowledge. Anyway, so that's the harvest. And then when we are harvesting for after the offering, and we're actually presenting this to the world, our harvest. And the harvest is also more wisdom and more deeper spiritual knowledge. And eventually the divination is it's when it's bearing fruit, but on the absolute top level, the ultimate that all beings want, although many of us don't even know it, is that we want enlightenment. We want to be able to see clearly what things really are, so we can live fully in compassion and love, without distortions and without imbalancing, and actually see clearly what things really are. Because this world is layers and layers and layers of illusions, really. And these are our layers of illusions. These are all our trauma and all the things we've gone through, all our karma is in different layers, which distorts our world, which stops us from living fully as the purest consciousness that we are truly, all of us are within, okay? So let's see. So these are also talking about originating, developing, maturing, and declining. So this is the cycle of the seasons. So this Gua is also it's speaking about understanding. And also the next one as well, understanding the relationship among the heaven and earth and human beings, or all living beings, right? All sentient beings. And then the I Ching is teaching us to follow the natural order. So we, in this world that we live now, we've come off the path, really. We are living in misalignment with the nature. And in doing this, we are destroying this planet that we are living on. So we are people who are destroying our habitat, which is absolutely crazy when you're thinking about it. But because of all the distortions, and because we don't see clearly, we don't really see the consequences of our actions. Although we actually see them as well, we don't want to look at it. Right? And we're always thinking somebody else should do something about it. It's them over there, it's them over there, it's them over there. No, it's with us. We are the universe. You are the universe. The universe is within us as much as it is without us, okay? And this is what we need to come, and this is the divination. When we come to this, we understand that we are the universe, and that our actions, when they are misaligned with nature, then it will be destruction. And this is what we're causing at the moment. So what the I Ching is teaching us is to live in alignment with nature. Follow the ebbs and flows of nature. Follow the cycle of the universe. Listening to Father Heaven and Mother Earth, being in alignment with the energies all around us, okay? So let's have a look at the commentary on the decision. Vast indeed is the greatness of initiating. It is the source of all beings. It regulates all creations under heaven. So without the initiating, nothing would happen. You have to start, like you have to have the initial spark. Like the sun with this, like the Big Bang, boom, right? It was the initiation of life in the universe, is one theory anyway. And then, but also like if to start a car, you got the initial spark to start the car. I don't know what it's like with electric cars anymore. Yeah, there must be a spark, right? But this, anyway, with petrol and diesel cars, you needed that spark. So you have a spark plug to create the spark to start the energy. And then even when we start a new project, we need to have the first thought, the initial steps. So without that, nothing happens. So without initiation, there is nothing. And here they're talking about clouds flow and rain falls. All beings complete their form. So we are getting nourishment as well. So we're getting the rain from the sky to dampen the earth that our seed is growing in. So our creation is getting watered. And then we've got the sun shining on our creation as well. So it's growing as well. And then we're getting all this nourishment from earth, which is the next hexagram, kun, which is the earth. So first we got the initiating, and then it's moving into kun, which is earth, which is then nourishing this seed and allowing it to grow. Like a mother carrying a baby in her stomach, okay? Great luminous from beginning to end. So we have clarity, we can see clearly, right? So this great luminous from beginning to end. Each of the 6 stages completes itself in its own time as mounting on 6 dragons soaring in the sky. I don't really understand that. I'll look into that a little bit more. The way of the initiating is change and transformation, so that each being obtains its true nature and destiny. Yes, this is it. This is we're stepping into our true nature and our destiny. So now we need to follow our heart, and we need not to be fearful, right? We should be careful. We shouldn't rush forward and just throw caution to the wind. Like, we need to listen to the nature and take each step after looking at the situation and then thinking, okay, is this a good way or is it not? Right, and then remain in harmony with nature, and then being truthful, always truthful within ourselves, and then showing this truth to the world. So we should always be the truth of ourselves, okay? And the union of great harmony is preserved. So harmony is very, so if we are that, okay, so we need harmony. So harmony is being created. If we are living our truth, if we are being truth, then there is harmony. This is what is favorable and upright, okay? The initiating is high above all beings, and thus all countries are united in peace. So this beginning, there is no discord, because this is the beginning. So, and this the initial spark. So let's have a look at the commentary on the symbol. Heaven acts with vitality and persistence. In correspondence with this, the superior person keeps himself vital without ceasing. Yes, so we need to look after ourselves to keep the energy flow freely. So initiating, like I said, it's the ultimate inexhaustible energy field, but obviously we can move out of this and then exhaust ourselves. So the superior person keeps himself vital without ceasing, okay? So this means actually to keep yourself vital, it means that you need to rest as well, right? It's not action, 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 because then we'll drain ourselves, okay? So we need to look after, very important that we keep on not just cultivating our body by eating well, and of course eating well and breathing fresh air and drinking fresh water and nourishing our body, but also need to nourish our mind and our spirit, and just taking in wisdom, words of wisdom, and learning things that comes from a heart and a compassionate, so that we can, what we are creating now with this initial initiation is something that comes from peace and harmony, and comes from a heart, pure heart, and it's our gift to the world becomes a gift of compassion and love and inspiration to others. So we don't take this and we are being angry and not looking after ourselves, so we're just being drained, and then we end up creating something that is not that positive. So we need to make sure that we cultivate our mind, keep on cultivating our mind and our body and our spirit to make sure that the gift to the world, that we truly will be living our soul's purpose in alignment with the universe. And then the gift we share is actually a positive one. So we don't end up spreading anger and resentment to the world, okay? So we got the fifth 9 is changing. Dragon flying in the sky, favorable to see a great person. So now is a good time to get advice from a wise person. So if you think of somebody that you trust very much, or maybe you just need to get some coaching sessions, or maybe you know somebody that you trust very well, or maybe this is a spiritual teacher, somebody who's got great knowledge that can help guide you at the moment. So this is very good to speak to somebody who's got really high knowledge and that comes from a compassionate heart and love, okay? And who wants to help you and support you on this journey, and who got something to give to you in order so you can pass it on to someone else, okay? Dragon flying in the sky, there arises a great person to be a leader, okay? So from this, yes, you have the potential of becoming a great leader. And a great leader do not want to be a boss, right? Very rarely do a great leader actually look for a leadership position. They very often end up there because they are an inspiration to other people. So when we are seeking out to become a leader, I want to be a manager, I want to be a boss, and I want to rise in the rank. This is my career move, and this for my own, joy, I want to be a manager. But then we're not thinking about the impacts of our actions, right? Then we are just thinking about how we can rise in ranks. A great leader is somebody who wants to help cultivate others, who is humble and wants to support the people around him and underneath him or her, right? To help other people and other beings to grow into the best possible way. That's a great leader. And those leaders usually happens more than actually going after for being a boss. Although I'm not saying that won't happen, right? You might know that, okay, I've got this beautiful knowledge and I want to share it with the world, right? But the intention must always be for all sentient beings, for the best of all sentient beings, to share with others what you know, not to take, not to further your ego. Oh, look at me, I am so great, look at me, like that. That's not a good intention, right? The good intention is to share your gifts with the world, to help all sentient beings to become the best they can be, and to become as knowledgeable and as happy and as little suffering as possible, right? No suffering. We want to get rid of the suffering of this world. Okay, so this is one of the accomplished gua, which means an accomplished gua is that you got the double of the trigrams, okay? So this is the first one, and this is obviously the most auspicious and the most powerful one of them all. So let's have a look at the fifth six here in more detail. So the fifth line is the central line in the upper gua. It is a young element at a young place, central, correct, and most auspicious. It indicates that the time and situation are ripe for taking action. The dragon is already flying. A man of great virtue is ready to be leader. Okay, so the dragon is already flying. It's not standing on the ground. So this is what we got. So the dragon is already taken off. And you are ready to become a great leader, okay? Everything is in its proper place. However, even in this context, a wise leader still needs to seek assistance from worthy people. It is said that this gua represents how King Wu, under the instruction of his father, sent armed forces to suppress the tyrant of Shang dynasty, gaining the love and esteem of the people. Yeah. So yes, you are ready to step in to a leadership role, but a leader as an inspiration to people, to help people grow and help people suffer less, to spread love and compassion to the world, but take advice from somebody who's has more wisdom, who knows more. So guidance is of essence. So don't do this on your own, because then you might end up depleting yourself, or you might end up going off on the wrong path. Guidance from a more wise person with more life experience, with more knowledge, is always good. Okay, take that. So we've got a 7th line here, which is all 9s. So all 9s indicates that all young lines alternate to yin lines. Among the 64 gua, only this one and responding have an extra yao text applied to the situation when all 6 lines move. They don't move at the moment, all the 6 lines. We're on the 5th 9. So we're just going to... But when all these lines are shifting into, they become all yin, which is the next hexagram, which is kun. Earth, okay, and this is metal. Qian is metal. Qian represents heaven, heaven above, heaven below, and this is metal again. So metal has been a very, very, very strong element throughout January here. So this is where we are in February. This is the main energy of February. So we're stepping into something new. But let's see what it's changing into. And it's changing into Great Harvest, which is 14. So let's have a look at that one. Okay, so Great Harvest, we've got a person standing here. I think that's a hand, and I'm not quite sure of what that is. Okay, let's read here. Great Harvest is the inverse of the preceding Gua, seeking harmony. Seeking harmony brings about a great harvest. On the other hand, a great harvest lends wings to seeking harmony. So we are seeking harmony, and great harvests are complemented to each other and help each other advance. So yeah, we are going to live in harmony. So we're not looking for trouble. And also this, although there's all this action and all this energy, we are constantly seeking harmony, and we're following the voice of nature around us, about the universe and all this. So very, very important. Now let's see. Let's read the decision, which is great harvest, sublimely prosperous and smooth. So we are in a place where we're actually harvesting. So we have initiated, we have started off, we have made the sacrifice, and now we're harvesting all the sacrifices that we have. And the sacrifice that we've done is all the tough times that we've gone through, but we have remained steadfast and upright. We have remained truthfully us, and we've not been lashing out at people, and we've not been creating more chaos in the chaos around us. We have worked really hard to remain the calm peace in the tornado, the calm inner center of a tornado, because it has been like a tornado around us. And now we are harvesting all this, because we have been cutting away what is old, what no longer serves, our old behavior. Times when we used to react, we used to get upset, we used to get angry, we didn't have any control over very little control over our emotions. That we've cut all that away, and we've become we've grown up and become a wiser person, and this is the harvest of that, okay? And we are now starting to live our soul's purpose. So let's read the commentary on the decision. Great harvest, the yielding obtains the honored position, great and central. The upper and the lower respond. So the name of great harvest comes. So that's the honored position, the yielding. So we've only got one yielding line. So we're still very much in a very lots of action, lots of creativity. The yielding line, though, which is a nourishing line, it's central, and that's, I think, most likely is the host of this gua, okay? Her virtue is firm and strong and also brilliant, corresponding with heaven and acting in accordance with time. Thus there is supreme progress and success. And then, so this is a time with great harvest, and we are being showered in nourishment and great virtues. And right now we have a lot for us, but we mustn't forget to actually stop and rest, because we don't want to burn out. So although we do have all this energy to start something new on this, take our first step here, we should still remain in harmony with the universe and everything that's going on around us. So fire is above heaven, an image of great harvest. In correspondence with this, the superior person represses evil and promotes good, carrying out the glorious virtue of heaven. Yeah. So here it's going. Yeah, we are removing, represses evil. So all the parts of us that are out of line with our soul, which leads to like outburst and anger and all these kind of things. So we are represses, I think we are transmuting it into, it's more on the other side with this love and compassion and peace and patience and forgiveness and acceptance instead. And then we're really working on promoting the good. And then carrying out the glorious virtue of heaven. And carrying out the glorious virtue of heaven, we are heaven, we are earth, we are everything. Everything is within us, is without us, okay? So this carrying out the glorious virtues of heaven is living in alignment of the all, of the universe, of the nature, of everything that exists. So that's where we are. February is the beginning now. We're stepping into the new cycle. So be mindful that what you are creating comes from a place of love. So even if like you got emotion and a negative emotion like anger and arising and stuff, and it's going to happen, right? We can't be always happy, but we are transmuting it. We're really, really working on transmuting this so that we into something that is good. Which is peace and harmony and love and compassion. And then because what we want to create is something beautiful for the world. And we are stepping into the leaders that we are. The leaders that can help people and help all sentient beings actually to grow stronger and live a better life. And then in the end, creating this universe into this beautiful place where there is no more suffering. Okay. So that is February, and I hope you got something out of this reading, and look after yourself. Remember to also, in all this creative power, remember to also rest at times and make sure you nourish yourself well. Wishing you a beautiful February.